Hello Libra, kia ora koutou katoa. Welcome to my YouTube channel and also my Facebook page if you have come across me or this video on Facebook. So I just want to quickly say thank you to those of you who have subscribed to my channel and liked or followed my Facebook page as well. And also I take this opportunity to say, to invite actually to say to those of you who haven't subscribed to do that now or at the end of this video, okay? That would be great. Oh, I just had this reflux sort of getting in. So something energy that interesting that this I was going to say energy should just happen to happen now. So there may be something that may be not sitting right within you at the moment or coming up soon. So because reflux is like something coming up that's not sitting right with you in your tummy area or your esophagus. So that's really interesting. So anyway, well, that's happened right now, I guess. I'm picking there's something that could come up with you or might be happening with you right now, because this is what they do with me. And this is what happens is there are signs and symbols everywhere and every which way, then Spirit will bring them through in some way or form. So anyway, yeah, so if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I invite you to do that now, and or follow me on my Facebook page. So I'm just, they're kind of like, there may be something like slightly distracting you, and it may be of two minds of doing something or going here or doing this or what's going on, and actually something might have come to you, some information, and it's kind of like brought a different sense of, okay, so how's this going to work? But it's, and working through it, processing that, and bringing something together or whatever it is together. It's like, yeah, it's kind of like a sense of new information. It's kind of, which is, there's that feeling, but it's kind of brought up different things or feelings within you, how you see things around you with other people who are in your close vicinity, but also your distant vicinity as well. So it's kind of and it's maybe like in a way kind of throwing you to what you thought or how you thought about certain people or things that are, and even yourself, with your reactions and your responses and your growth, because this is all about your growth in you and the shifts that are happening within you, of course, and how we see the world or how you see the world within you and without of you. It's kind of really interesting energy, but beautiful at the same time. So anyway, so I'm going back to my intro again. So yeah, so just a reminder that these the messages that come through are general. So meaning that it may not, you may not understand them, or it may not resonate with you. If it does, wonderful. If it doesn't, then just leave it out. But don't try and make it fit. But it's just just interpret it in, because it may not be this exactly the same for you in the story that unfolds in the next 20 minutes. But it could be something that if you think about something else that's happening in your life, the general theme of it in that sense. So anyway, there is so just take what does resonate and leave what doesn't. So, and obviously there is some, for some of yous, if it doesn't resonate, then I'm just saying that, or Spirit just saying, check out one of your other signs, okay? So there may be, you may be like need to check out, yeah, okay, where are they going? This kind of, I don't know what's going on here, but I'm just kind of feeling like you're saying one thing and doing another thing. There's that sort of energy that's going on. Like, I want to say this, but I'm finding that I'm doing something else. Like when I'm, it's kind of, and it's not coming out right. So that there must be something going on with you, because I was not like that before. So, amazing Libra. So they're just waiting. Okay, and I could just hear in the background that with Spirit just saying that there may be something that you're doubting yourself with too, with some of you, and it's like. So they're just taking, like in the beginning there, which is like to, take your time, go with the flow, and not try and make things happen, okay, to how you think they should be, but actually just let it go, let it go, let it flow in that sense. Okay, gosh, I'm never going to get this intro finished, am I? So the other thing that goes with that is like, if it doesn't, if you don't fully understand it, check out one of your other signs. So there is a link in the description box below that will take you to a website that has a calculator on it that is free, that will work that out for you. So, which leads me to letting you know that these reads are suitable for those of you who are watching for Libra, whether Libra is in your Sun, Moon, Rising or Venus sign. Okay, so there's a whole lot of stuff coming out, so I'm not sure whether I'm going to read all that, but we'll see how we go. Anyway, I'm going to be using my trusty tarot deck today, as well as the Sacred Earth Oracle deck today for this week. So this is for this, today I'm recording this on the 5th of August 2020. So this is for this next, this upcoming week, or like I say, you could be right in it now. Okay. So the first 4 cards that came out together in one clump, and I do shuffle these between each read, and really well. And they get a little bit of a clearing if I feel like they need it. I didn't feel like they need it in between. So usually in the shuffle, what happens is there is a clearing as well, and a shifting of energy. That's how I work, and that's how Spirit work with me. Okay, so anyway, so the first 4 cards that came out in this clump, okay, is there seems to be a demolishing of an old way of thinking or being, and which is making way for the new with the Tower. So that is the theme around the Tower. Okay, so it's a bit bright there, so I'm just gonna, I wonder if I can put it back on there. That the sun's really shining on that. There we go. So things are old ways of thinking and being are falling away, and some new thoughts and feelings are starting to come through with that, because I can see them and feeling the energy like moving, shifting, and some new thoughts are coming through, and which is helping you to actually with that, in that shift that's happening, because I just want to say, like the 4th in New Zealand is like I'm recording this on the 5th of August, so on the 4th of August, yesterday was the full moon, and it's heightened for this month here in New Zealand. And the energy is high, so I feel like there's been a shift in that. Even it's like coming up to that, it's probably about a week or so, as things started. You may have noticed a shift in your energy, or a shift in the way you're thinking or being, and noticing things, but it's maybe fully come into full awakening this weekend or something like that, or close to it, or even just today. So anyway, with this falling away of old ways of thinking and being and doing, it's something that's come to you about how you think and do things. It's really interesting, because it's like they're repeating it over again, getting repeated. It's kind of like, because there's like it's like different levels of energy and thinking and layers to getting it across to not just you, but everybody who can resonate that. So you may have had it come to you in different ways or forms, this information, to help you shift this, to go into the shift that which you are experiencing now for some of you, and which some of you are going to experience. Well, which means it leaves, it opens the doorway for some energy and action, for you to take action with a lot of excitement, because the 8 of Wands is there. So it's like, and when I look at this, there's the bow and the arrow, but the wands and the arrow, the bow and the arrow, the bow and the wands are the arrows that you've put it out there. And I feel like you have actually, for some of you, put it out there to like what it is that you're wanting to achieve, do, be, and have in life, and also give. But this is, and something is coming back for some of you, and it's like, this is it. It's like, and then some of you now are feeling able that you can put it out there. So there's two things going on there, mainly with that, okay? Wow. And then we have the Four of Swords. So there's some sort of recuperation and convalescence with the Four of Swords in this group. So it kind of gives you a little bit of a space in a way to take some time out for yourself. Now, it's like now, because there's been a bit of processing in the build up to this, okay? So now it's kind of like, yep, okay, I get it now. So there is a little bit of time and a little bit of breathing space, okay? And then we have the King of Swords, so who is an authority figure, firm but fair. So I feel like, these two swords energies, obviously because you're Libra, these are you, experiencing that. So this is all about you. And that King of Swords energy, comes in there as well. So whatever you've been dealing with, working with, is not just, on yourself. It's like you're seeing stepping into another phase of you where you're more into this space and you're acknowledging that self within you, of being that authority figure who is fair, firm but fair as well, in the way that you approach things, do things, and all those sorts of things. Because some of you may have been putting yourself down, or maybe seeing it from another point of view, and in which has made you twist it around, and you've been a little bit taking getting a hammering from others because of the way that you're being, thinking, feeling, doing things as well. And it's like you're stepping into that energy. Some of you are stepping into that energy and acknowledging that part of you as well. And some of you have actually, are there now and applying that, okay? Applying that now, out in the world, but with a different context, in the sense that you're knowing more that that you are, that's what you do. Whereas before, as you would be doing that, and people were maybe not liking that you were like that, okay, like firm but fair, putting things out, laying things out, communicating, asserting your power, making decisions and things like that. And they maybe not been wanting to liking the way that you were making decisions, but this was about you being in your power, basically. So now some of you are in that and reaffirming that and applying it. Others of you, others of you, I feel like it's more with everything, the shift that's coming, are applying that and learning it and seeing that now. Wow. Because then we have the Knight of Cups, and this whole energy, because this energy change, there's the Lover, a Knight of Cups comes in, an energy, a male energy comes in. Could actually be a female energy, depending on whether you're a male or a female. So it could be like, somebody's coming in, but it's like there's something to do with your emotions and your feelings. It opens the doorway for that to happen more so now. It's like, because it's like this indigestion thing here that's going on has been released. Something has been released, and it's like, it's not holding up in here anymore, okay? Whatever that uncomfortability has been about, or that holding off from seeking this has been about, or allowing this to come in is coming about. So interesting. And so there's been a shift in the way that you see and who you see that's coming in as well. Then there's this, then there's a Nine of Wands here with inner strength. So it's like you've been working on this inner strength, and that something is coming to an end with that, in the sense that it's like there's that feeling like that's the last of that episode, and I'm ready to move on with that. Okay, so in that sense, without having to, to think about, about that. It's just like, I've been there, done that, that's it. And you're ready to take action and move on. That's what I'm hearing with that. But also, and I'm just going to, and then we're going, after that is the Four of Pentacles, and it's about holding on to too tightly. So I kind of feel like this isn't strictly, for some of you, yes, it will be about the financial side, that you may be going through something with this inner strength, or maybe, you know, coming out from that and and moving forward, is that because some changes that have come about with what you've just processed and wanting to move into may mean that you, with some plans that are put ahead, are needing to look at maybe not so much holding on, but too tightly was what they're saying here, but being mindful, okay? The other side of this is there's something, some of you maybe like energetically wise, if you do that, it's going to stop the flow of abundance and but prosperity coming through as well. Now, they're not just talking about the financial, the career, because typically that's what you know, Taurus is about, you know, financial wealth, material possessions in one aspect, but, you know, also they're also about, or the Pentacles is about that, but it's also about not being too rigid with things as well, with money, but also energy, and domineering and confrontational. It's just kind of, it's kind of like the flip side of it, in a sense. Okay, so there's something, there's a crossing over with the swords in there or something, with that, with the King of Swords. It's like that firm but fair thing going on in there. But it's like with this, it's like figuring out how going, there's a new phase. It's like being mindful about energetically wise with that, like going back to the sword stuff, but also the emotions and the feelings as well, with the cups and the Knight of Cups. It's like, it's not holding on too tightly with those things in that sort of way as well. So it's like freeing yourself up, because something, it allows whatever it is that you've been holding on to come out, come out, especially with things that haven't quite sat well with you. So yeah, okay, that's pretty cool. So it's just freeing yourself up a little bit there and not holding on too tightly with emotions as well, and feelings, as well as thoughts and ideas as well. And, you know, and not asserting your power to achieve these sorts of things, from letting yourself out and letting yourself go, but also, you know, and not holding on too tightly, you know, to money, or, you know, not closing the purse strings too tightly. It's just letting them open a bit, because you've got, there's like that saying, you've got to spend a little bit of money to make a little bit of money, if this is business wise for you. But it's also being mindful, clever, smart in how you exchange energy in that way, or in any way actually. So then we have the Lovers, the love and choice. So that's interesting, because that's come out underneath this first lot of cards that's fallen out. Whoa. And then we have like these last 6 cards that fell out in that clump, that I was debating whether I go and read these ones as well. I thought, well, we'll see how we go, but it seems like I have to, because within all of that, with the Lovers here, there's a love and choice. There's something that comes about. There's 3 in a party sort of thing. That's like you're going to maybe need to make a choice with this new lover that's coming in, about what you're going to do. Okay, where you're going to have, it's like energy wise, because that's what I'm hearing about, this energy thing. So there's something about, you know, with the Fool that comes out, you know, maybe there is something about you taking that leap of faith, but me being mindful about that leap, what that, you know, weighing it up with that leap of faith, because it's also, you know, even though that's like, you know, taking that leap of faith of, you know, with this new change, and there may be a little bit of and you may be overcoming the fear, but it's like of doing something or going into something, you know, having this change. But it's like also being, you know, mindful and aware as well, as the words that are coming up with that. Because then we have the Queen of Wands, who is there with the energy, and she comes with generosity and strength to help you through that, through this time of change as well. And knowing that you are safe, because they're drawing me to the lions that are on there, and it's like as well as the sunflower, because it's like there's something that you may have been waiting for a little while that's come through, and it's like, okay, how do I cross that line? Do I cross that line? Do I, but it's holding on to that faith and that belief in yourself, because that's what that Fool is showing me and talking to me about, is having that faith and belief in yourself, okay? And then new beginnings, opportunities and talents with the Magician. So the Magician can also be the trickster they're talking about. So it's like, this is where I feel like there's that thing about with the Fool, is like, even though there's that taking that leap of faith, it's being aware and conscious of what you are doing with that leap of faith. But it's also like, there's something about like make a strategic plan as well. Strategically planning, being open to, this, whatever is going on and how that might work with you. Okay, or for you. We're not just, because I feel like the trickster comes with the mind, and that we go into a different, like a fantasy sort of thing. And fantasies, are there, but it's kind of like, but it's also being mindful and aware with those as well as fairy tales and things like that. But this with the Magician coming in, and he does talk about new beginnings and opportunities and talents coming out as well. But they're also bringing in the trickster side of you. But that I'm feeling, it's for some of you, it could be the mind playing tricks on you, in the sense that it's holding you back, or you're finding sometimes the mind makes, we can like take focus on what isn't working, or why, when somebody brings somebody something, when Spirit brings somebody in, or somebody comes in that sees something that may throw us off track to where it is that we're wanting to go. That's where it's where they're going with the trickster side of thing. So there's kind of like, it helps us to define, and some of you might say, oh yeah, that's just, they're just trying to test us, and that sort of, yes and no. But it's about us figuring out in our own mind what we do want to do, and how we're going to do it. So there's a sense of being like clever about it as well. Okay, going back to that. But the Magician definitely does bring in some new beginnings, opportunities, and talents that are coming out. It's like of within. So then we have, the power and energy imprisoned within. So the Devil. So there's something about being of two minds again with this, making the decision and going into this. So there may be a little bit of a, not so much, a little bit of a battle, in releasing yourself fully from what you do know and what you did know to what it is now that's come forth to you. So I feel like there may be some new information, that there may be a struggle in some ways of like identifying how that may work with you, how it might unfold, and and then maybe some what ifs come in. But and it goes back to the Magician side of things. There may be that side of you, because that's what I'm feeling like. I want to pull these two together now. Put these two together. There may be something that self-doubt and that, as well, or that going into it. And even though, while knowing deep down, it's like there is something deeper there that say, yes, I really want this, and yes, I really want to do this, and yes, this is what I've been waiting for, and yes, so there are a lot more yeses than nos. And so sometimes what they're talking about, there can be one no that will like fuck it up, and you're like go in your head in that sense, and then it's like, and then make up the story that why you can't do it or why you shouldn't do it, and put blockers up in there. So it's kind of like, okay, so it's like, so this is where it's like setting yourself free with this with the Devil card there, and not letting this other energy that talks you out of things all the time. So it's like, yeah, okay, so sitting down, meditating with that, and being and allowing yourself to set yourself free, basically. So then there is a bit of discontent that comes with the Four of Cups. So there may be some, you may go into a funny little phase where in this process where there's the 3 cups there, and there's 4 in the background, where you're not actually seeing everything. And so then you may overthink things or underthink things, which takes you to this funny little place. But there is in the clouds there's something there that is like a gift in a way that's in the clouds that you're not actually seeing, Even though there's those three there, it's like in front of you. You're not seeing what's beside you or what's there right there, because you've got your head down, eyes closed, in this cloudy emotional state of place, and actually, you know, which is there to actually help shift you along. It's like you've worked through some things, but there's just one thing there that you don't feel like you've got, but it is there. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles just showing up to tell you and to show you that, you know, things are moving, okay? Might be slow and steady, but things are moving and will be moving, okay? It might happen overnight, but it will happen. It's just being centered, focused, and, you know, and open-minded is what I'm hearing, and open flow. And then we have oppressive burdens with the Ten of Wands. So it's like there's, you know, you're gathering up all these bits and pieces that have been burdening you, thoughts, feelings, you know, ideas, and that have, you know, influences that have not served you any purpose for your highest good, and you're getting rid of them. And that's the end of that cycle. It's like ready for you to move on. Interesting, I'm just noticing as I'm holding this card that the sunlight that's shining on it, there's this, you know, there's a, you know, a couple of bits there that are shining on the card. So, and I'm picking, if I held it for too long there, the sun would go through and it'd probably burn it, because it's, you know, it's like to get rid of it. So there's a clearing, there's a moving on with the Ten of Wands, and letting go of that phase of whatever it is that you're working through for yourself. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly draw a couple of cards out of here for you. So this week there's probably quite a bit going on for you by the sound of it, which is so amazing and magical. So revolution. So there's something about you overcoming. There's a revolution within you. You're going to overcome it and get the fuck on with it, basically. Whatever it is. They've been quite forceful now. So moving. Awesome. Yeah, and I totally get that. Totally understand that. So fortitude as well. So there's something that you've been overcoming that's taken a little while, and you've overcome whatever adversity that is that you've been through. And it might have been painful, and it might have been arduous and long, but it's like I feel like that spirit is saying, and this is why it's time for you to get moving now, and that just goes to show you that you have the tenacity, the knowing, the strategic planning, the ideas, the thoughts, because you've got through all that, and you're going to overthrow all these other things, and stand up for your right for you to keep moving and do whatever it is that you want to do, be, have, and or give in your life, okay, in whatever shape or form. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there for you for this week, and we'll move on. I'll see you next week on Wednesday, and see how that flows, see what's happening and what flows on from here for you, okay? Anyway, my spiritual team and I, we leave you with lots of love, peace, harmony, and joy, excitement, and adventure. Bye for now.